Nuvolari, Vazzi and Campari have been told to win, and they really try. It's a tough day for all the independent drivers, and a complete victory for the Italian team. Nuvolari is first, Campari second, and Vazzi third. Tazio Nuvolari is only 5'2", but handles a car, when roused, with such verve that some say he has a pact with the devil. The next round is the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Vazzi has a Bugatti, Nuvolari an experimental 12-cylinder Alfa. Campari a smaller 8. Nuvolari for once doesn't get away first. Grand Prix races this year are a minimum of 10 hours, and Vazzi leads the first 2. Nuvolari is third, struggling with the big car. Then Vazzi goes out, while Nuvolari takes a rest. Il Duce had told him to start and win, but his car has been withdrawn. However, Nuvolari isn't a man to be defeated, and he's back refueling Campari's Alfa before taking it over himself for a spell. The straight 8 comes in first, and in future will always be known as the Monza Alfa Romeo. The burly Campari and the tiny Nuvolari have between them driven nearly 1,000 miles.
Lap 12, the great Tazio sets a lap record at 2:04. Vazzi then beats this by 2 seconds. Nuvolari gradually eats away on Chiron's advantage. In lap 29, Chiron evades Tchaikovsky and hits the sandbags in the chicane. Chiron is ejected and Nuvolari takes the lead. Luck remains with Nuvolari. Behind him, Vazzi, Borzacchini, Fagioli and Caracciola are having a bitter fight. Dreyfus loses a tyre in the gasworks hairpin. The remainder of the race is fought between Nuvolari and Caracciola in the Alphas. In the last lap, Nuvolari loses some seconds, switching to the petrol reserve. Caracciola could have taken the race, but Rudy slows down to show the Alpha team that next time he wants a red Alpha. And Tazio wins with Rudy tagging behind.
MG midgets have 3-lap start, while Nuvolari's class with the larger engined MG magnets only get 1 lap. The Alphas and Invictas are on scratch. Nuvolari is soon way ahead of the rest of his class, but so is a wild, dark Irishman, Hugh Hamilton, on a mission. Before long, it is clear that the Irishman is leading the world-famous Italian by seconds and looks like winning. Nuvolari is still behind when Hamilton comes in for a disastrously slow pit stop. It becomes another national crisis as Nuvolari takes the lead. Nuvolari comes through to win the Tourist Trophy for the 2nd time.
Specialmente per il molto pubblico che assiste a questa gara, che sono molto sportivi.
Right now, would you just try to like that, Mac? Mac.
A heavy duel is started between Varzi and Nuvolari, but Nuvolari has to abandon with fading brakes. This race is marked with abandons due to spark plug problems. Tenslin overtakes Dreyfus and takes 2nd place, but then skids on Casino Square. In lap 65, Dreyfus abandons and Guy Moll is 2nd. Only 3 laps to go. Chiron has skidded in the station corner and hit the sandbags. The newcomer, Guy Moll, passes and takes the lead.
The German Grand Prix on the Nürburgring seemed a certain German victory. The cameramen dwell lovingly on the silver cars that are the pride of Hitler Germany. The latest Mercedes are capable of 180 miles an hour, and even the most experienced drivers cannot yet make full use of such power. The more unorthodox auto unions with their engines behind the driver are the most difficult to master. The cameramen ignore a high-built Alfa Romeo until it wins, driven by the fabulous Nuvolari. This, however, is the rare stroke of genius. Nuvolari takes one of the new Alfas to America for the Vanderbilt Cup. The little Italian has never driven before on anything quite like this cross between a road and a dirt track, but he sailed through the field and shows the Americans a real Grand Prix car in action.
On the front row of the grid are Nuvolari, von Brauchitsch and Kautz. H.P. Muller is next to Caracciola. They're off, and Nuvolari and Lang are well away. Coutts leads Nuvolari through the chicane. This is Hans Stuck, followed by Nuvolari. Number 14 is Trossi. Lang leads Nuvolari. Both teams of Silver Arrows are in trouble, and only one of each finishes the race. Here's Dr. Farina on his way to second place in his Alfa. Goffredo Zender tries to demolish the chicane with his Maserati, but nearly adds to it. Nuvolari makes one final stop for more tyres. Tazio wins the Italian Grand Prix for the third time, but it's the first victory for Auto Union this year.
The pre-war 3-mile Donington circuit was very narrow and very bumpy.
Well known that the German cars have every advantage over the other engines. Billy Cotton, number 18, finds the tempo pretty hot as he swings round the bend. Seaman, Lang and Miller take a chance and get away with it. But after all, that's bound to happen in a race like this.
Nuvolari has now mastered the difficult rear-engine car and breaks the lap record. Arthur Dobson on his ERA will win the special prize for the first English car to finish, 7 laps behind. An English car engine blows up and oil is spilled onto the track. The first victim is the Auto Union of Hassa. Dick Seaman follows in his Mercedes, but he will be able to restart. Von Brakic has an injured hand and he's not at his best. Müller on the Auto Union is now ahead of Nuvolari, who has had a lengthy pit stop. But driving magnificently on the sinuous Donington course, he regains first place. It was to be the last Grand Prix at Donington for 30 years. Dick Seaman in his last English race will finish third. As elsewhere, the 3-litre cars were a little slower than the 1937 6-litre. Nuvolari won at 80.49 miles an hour after a truly great drive.